Hello, beloved ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And if you wonder about that weird title, stick around to the end. I'm going to give you a special message about this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness happening now. Never before happened. And meanwhile, we're going to start off with Sohyang, Bridge Over Troubled Water. I've never ever seen this singer, so let's check it out.
네 번째 무대 소향입니다.
Like maybe some contest here. Let's go. Well, they sure love her, huh? Interesting. I've never heard the background played like this. It's just a constant repeating few notes. Do, 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 do. And very different. It gives all the focus to her voice. Let's hear that again. Involvement, so like invested in the song, isn't she? Let me go back, because did you see that beautiful also panoramic stained glass window thing behind her? Wow, let's just see that again. Oh my. Just beautiful, isn't it? Oh.
When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when the evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your
almost sounds like a church choir, doesn't it? Go back a little bit here. Great job with the background there.
When you're on the street, when the evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. When darkness
Goodness, wow. Listen to her riffing around and just blasting it out there. And oh my goodness, she knows what she's doing. She's not messing around here. Every bit of her heart and soul invested in this. Wow. Let's go. Oh my goodness. I have never seen that sung like that. Holy cow. And so wonderful, like just totally new, totally different, all her own, and just like brought everybody to their feet. Oh my goodness, so wonderful. So glad I found this one. Yes, we have to do more of her. Oh my goodness, first time. Look at that. Holy mount moly. I am blown away. I am just blown away. And this is such a high vibrational song too. And how she sang it. Wow. And I mean, whenever I've heard this song, I've thought of it typically of maybe a friend or a lover singing to their loved one. I felt like this was God singing to us, or the divine prime creator, the creator of everything, singing to us. That's what I felt like when she sang it. Like I am here for you always, as that still quiet space, no matter what turmoil you have. I mean, it just brought me there. Holy moly. Well, okay, let's see. Now, one is let me give you my scale here. One being very third dimensional, fear, pain, sadness, anger, suffering. And 10 being fifth dimensional, love, peace, joy, bliss, and all that. Now, by the way, in 5D, there is no pain or suffering. So that's where we're talking about 3D. But it's raising us up so high above the 3D, raising us up. So, I mean, I have to go pretty high on this thing, because wow, so I have to go with like a 9.5 on this baby, 9.5. And that's not how great she did it. If you had to do how great she did it, she's off the scale. Don't even go with a 1 to 10. You got to go 20, right? But just about how it pulls you up, it just pulled me up so high to the heavens. Oh my goodness. The kitty even wants to be involved. Oh, by the way, if you're enjoying this, please like and subscribe. Okay, like, share, and subscribe. Phew. That was wonderful, wonderful. So it makes my day when I hear a song like that. And if you want to hear a little bit more about me, by the way, having been, I'm a singer myself, but also a life coach. And I've done that I did that for many years, and now I just do my fun stuff with the YouTube and all. But if you want to hear about my Forged in the Fire journey, you can go to the About Lorelei video on this channel, and that tells you about that journey. And also, you can look at the About Lorelei on Patreon to see all the different things I've created that might be of service to you from all those skills that I have. By the way, the video here is called About Me, I think, not About Lorelei, About Me. So, all right. So my little guy is so happy here. He loved the song too. So let's talk about our fifth dimensional message. Why have dark and evil people historically been in positions of power on this planet? Why have dark and evil people historically been in positions of power on this planet? Now, first of all, this is a little bit about our history that has not been taught to us, right? Because a lot of our history has been whitewashed and not given to us the way it actually occurred. So one of the important aspects of this shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness is to actually remember and know and start to bring back the thoughts and memories of our true history, what truly happened here on this planet. So that's why this is important to the fifth dimensional shift, because when we get there into 5D, we know the whole shamil, and it's coming out in different ways, from different people remembering it or getting messages from the higher beings, and et cetera, all of that. So we know that this planet was originally created to be this beautiful sort of, let's call it a vacation spot for the galaxy, right? It was going to be like this beautiful place where people could come and have beautiful times on gorgeous Gaia with all of the nature and the growing things. It's got the perfect amount of land, the perfect amount of water, and all kinds of life of every different type. And there was supposed to be sort of a kind of also a library where you could learn and understand about things all around the galaxy. That, by the way, is happening in some parts of the Earth as well, that we're not yet aware of. Okay, but that is happening. That is there. But then what happened was the other side. Consider this kind of great war between the dark and the light happening in the galaxy for a long time. Now, eventually, the light always wins, right? But human beings and beings in general, they do their antics of in this game of like playing around with the idea of separation from creator, right? And not being divine and all that. So they do their antics. So in those antics, you have the light forces and the dark forces coming to into a juxtaposition with each other, like battling it out, if you will. Okay. So that was going on in there in our galaxy, and there was a kind of a Star Wars type. Really, that stuff was not so far different, right, from what actually happened. It was a Star Wars type battle from between the good and the evil, right? And that had been going on. And then along comes this gorgeous planet, and we begin to populate it with souls. And there's actually a high vibration, which is ancient Atlantis and ancient Lemuria, very high fifth dimensional civilization happening here. But the dark ones, they decide that they want this planet because this planet is very rich in resources and has lots of gold, which is not only like good for, that's not just money out there in the cosmos, by the way. That has attributes that literally, can heal, and certain amounts of it. People take these itsy bitsy tiny bits of gold to heal their body in these different ways, and it's been alchemized in that way. There are people that actually sell it right now on our planet because they've learned this process. So they wanted all of these resources we had, including the gold, not just for monetary value. In fact, probably that wasn't why they wanted it. They wanted it for the ability to stay young and be young no matter how dark and evil they were. You see? This had abilities, you could work with it to have that happen. Whereas in a normal course of life, if you're dark and evil, your body is starting to decay. Okay, that's just how that goes, right? Now, of course, in human existence, it also decays over time, but we're talking about like in the greater galaxy and all, your body will decay, it will not look good, and so on and so forth if you're dark and evil, unless you find ways to beef that up. So they were looking for that, and they wanted that gold, and they wanted everything this planet had to offer, and they did not want us to get in their way. In fact, they would like to have that. Their preference was to have human beings on this planet as their minions, as their step and fetch it, do all the work, and only a limited amount of them, by the way, so that they wouldn't be too overwhelming. So the dark ones, they had their minions coming here to the planet in the form of various sort of, they were galactic beings. They were not the beings of love. They were beings of darkness. And those have been referenced, for instance, in the Bible in various different ways, saying these different beings were here. And other historical things would talk about these beings that had powers greater than human, for sure, but they were not necessarily of the light. So those folks were here. And over time, and you can watch my video about ancient Lemuria and the fall of Atlantis and all of that, over time, they were successful at bringing down the vibration of this planet. And also being able to farm from this planet whatever they want. They also farm energy, by the way. They actually live off of negative energy, a lot of these darker beings. They literally live off of that. So the more they could keep us all in these darker places, in these fear places and anger places and disharmony and upset and all of that third dimensional, more we could be there, the better for them, because that is an energy source for these darker beings. So now they begin to get their minions, and they populate the planet with their minions, and their minions are in and around and in the human population, and they find different families that they interject themselves into with this very darkness, right? And then they give those families all kinds of power. They give them the ability to have all kinds of power and money. And then those families continue over and over again through having children. Arguably, the families now that are giving us such a terrible time on the earth, that are running this earth, that are in or have been historically in power and doing all kinds of horrible things. And we could say the R ones, that's like a rock, right? And the van ones that could be built, and the Roth ones that have a child, right? Those ones and many more, the royals, right? Arguably, these have gone way back time immemorial. And they just kind of interject that darkness in there. Maybe back to Cain, okay? That might have been the first one. Interject that darkness in there, and then the families begin to pass it down through the way they raise their children, the terrible things that they do to their own children, by the way, as we understand it. And this ability to they give them that knowledge and that understanding of how to control others, and to just strive for that power and get that power, strive for that money and get that money, and control everybody else. And so that's historically how they've gotten in these positions of power, even though there are relatively few of them when you think about it. probably the people who control, or historically for many, many hundreds, thousands of years, have controlled the planet, they probably don't number more than 1%, if that, of the entire planet. I probably think it's a lot less, actually, right? 0.001, you know? But they know how to do it because it's been handed down to them. So they've been successful at putting their people in positions of power. And then their minions, of course, who have a level of power here, think in the realm of George, who has the Soros, right? Thinking those worlds, right? Those guys who have a level of power, now they begin to put other people in place as well, right? And they begin to have minions for them, right? Who will do their thing by giving them plenty of money, or by getting them involved in nastiness and then taking a picture of it, or by threats. If you don't follow our way, you know, you're not gonna survive the whole experience of this life. So they have, and your children, right, and everything else. So they have many, many ways that these guys pass down through generations, learn how to create their other subcultures of minions, right, who will do what they say when they say how they say. Now, some of those could be purely evil as well as these other ones, but some of them may just they just have gone the wrong direction in life and not really wanted to, but then got themselves stuck, and then they couldn't get out because of the black and then the male, or the threats, or what have you, right? Or the ones that take money, they're probably pure evil, but the other ones, yeah, it's a question mark, right? We don't really know. But the good thing about it is that these guys who have held the planet for so long, they are terrified. They're literally now terrified because they're dark, by the way. Since all the light shedding in and everything, they're darker, as we might call them, overlords. They fled the planet. They are gone. The ones that were from the galaxy and all of that would oversee them and all, they're gone. So these guys are all alone now. They can't turn to those people for the power that those individuals, for the power that they had. So now, but they see this planet slipping away, and that's largely the reason for the insane chaos of the last decade. Because they see the planet is slipping away, their power is slipping away. Somewhere in that whole 10 years, their overlords slipped away, and here they are sitting here still trying to maintain their control, their evil, their darkness. And they can't. They can't. Because there are too many of us who know and who understand now what's going on, right? We figured it out. Now, we haven't necessarily all figured it out to the level that I told you about that, right? That how far this goes back and how long it's been going on and all that. But we have figured out that the people in positions of power, a whole lot of them are not up to our good and our best interest and love and light and all of that. They are up to the exact opposite. They are not up to following God. They are up to following that Satan guy. A lot of those people. So things are, it's fascinating when you watch. If you can watch without getting too invested, and sometimes I do too. This whole thing that happened to Mr. Charlie and then his last name Kirk. I have to say all this so that I don't get censored and then third. So I have to be careful. That was very disturbing. But when you really look at the overview of it, you realize that they are just desperate. They are trying any means necessary. They came right out from under their rocks with every nasty means they possible, right? And threw it all at us over the past 8 years, right? And it didn't work. And they haven't got us under their control. And they don't have anything left to give. They have nothing left to throw at us. Except maybe take a gun and you know what with it, which they did. And that doesn't work because now there's more of us, even more angry and even more determined. So friends, that's the message I have for you today. And I'm going to send you that beautiful fifth dimensional energy. This is the freedom, right? We are God's children. There's nobody can control us. Sending you the freedom, the peace, the joy, the ease, the love, the bliss, all coming at you now. Shh. Namaste. I honor the God in you.